People no longer go and rob banks at gunpoint.
Not anymore.
You go to a bank, you hack into their facility, you take credit card, information, and you have robbed a lot of people.
Our guest today on this episode is Dr. Shahid Yakub, the Managing Director, Motomoto Africa Limited.
It's no longer a retired police officer who just comes and becomes a security manager for a country.
Yes.
That retired police officer now goes through certain professional courses because he's coming out from, national security into private security.
Exactly.
And those are two different things.
In this episode, we are going to talk about managing effective security businesses in the country and the role of corporate social responsibility.
Any company that is making money from the society, it's not a responsibility as such. A responsibility is a slightly weaker word.
Yes.
It is a compulsion, I would say,
Yes.
for you to give back to the society.
Dr. Yakub Shahid is a member of SIS International, SIS Kenya, and PROSAC. He has won various awards, including FOIA for the Founder of the Year for his company. He's a finalist at Oscars Award, and he has been awarded by Association of Fraud Examiners for his social work. What does it take to run a successful business, a successful security business-oriented company in this country? This episode has been recorded at Wojok Working Spaces, located at Monk Hotel in Upper Hill, which is at the 9th and 10th floor. Be sure to check them out. We'll leave a link in the description. Ladies and gentlemen, if you have not subscribed, this is the perfect opportunity to hit that subscribe button and turn on the notification. Like any other industry, the security industry in Kenya has grown for long. We can speak post-independence, whichever time. How would you describe the current state of security industry in Kenya?
So, if you look at the history of the security industry in Kenya,
Yeah.
When we were still growing up, you would look at the guys who are manning the gates as random people you would pick from the village just to come sit there.
Yes.
Without any know-how of what really they're doing there. According to them, their job would be to open the gate, close the gate, not really understanding the dynamics or what is involved in being a security guard or a security officer, which in today's time, that is what it has evolved to.
Yep.
Recently, a friend of mine asked me to get him some candidates for his guarding company. And when I went through the requirements, I came to understand that the security industry has evolved in, you can say, the past 5 years in a very drastic manner. Meaning you're no longer just picking any random person to come and sit at the gate and his work is just to open and close the gates or to stand at the door and just salute when someone is passing through.
Yes.
And that is what used to be there. Even the training that used to be involved in the security guard training, you would see that as far as I can remember, several years back, the security guard training would just involve a 2 or 3 day training where a guard is just taught how to salute when someone
Mostly
is passing.
the drills, you know.
That's it.
Just that.
Of recently,
Yeah.
especially with the past few years, you can say since 2019, when the authority, the private security regulatory authority, came up with their regulations and the act and the regulations, they came up with a lot of new involvement and training for the security guards.
There's a whole curriculum.
There's a whole curriculum, and it involves security awareness. It involves, it actually shows the security guard how to, not in detail, but how to be able to profile someone who is passing on the road, and they are taught how to respond to certain incidences and things like that.
Yeah.
So I can say that we have reached a certain stage in the country where we have not yet evolved. We are in the process of evolving.
Yeah.
And taking the security industry to the next stage. And fine, the security industry does not only involve about guards, but look at the requirements or the certifications nowadays that are being brought in the security industry.
Yeah.
You have an organization like ASIS, which has got professional certification courses at managerial levels.
Exactly.
You have an organization like ACFE, the Association of Certified Fraud Examiners,
Yes.
which gives you certain trainings with regards to fraud examine.
Yes.
And fraud cases and things like that. You have organizations like ISMI.
Yes, the UK
in
one.
The UK one, which gives you the CSMP. I've personally done that course, so I can say that it is a course that is so detailed. It gives you a certain level of professionalism when you're doing things. It's no longer, and I don't mean to say it in an offensive way, but it's no longer a retired police officer who just comes and becomes a security manager for a country. That retired police officer now goes through certain professional courses because he's coming out from national security into private security.
Exactly.
And those are two different things.
Yes, because you can see now for maybe a retired military officer or law enforcement, you're talking about national security.
Exactly.
And now here you come into corporate.
And you personally can attest to that, the training that you went through in military and the training that you have currently done or the certifications you have currently done gives you a different view of how private security is to be handled.
Completely different.
So what I can say is that we are in the process of evolving. The process has not taken too long. If we can say since 2018, this process started here in Kenya, and we are in 2024. Considering 2.5 or 3 years of COVID, we have really moved at a steady pace. I think it's now time we take that a notch higher. So we have talked about security guards, we have talked about security managers. Security in itself does not evolve just around guarding and manned guarding and things like that. There's a lot more behind security, where the technological aspect comes. And I can tell you that as far as the technological aspect of security is concerned, personally, this is my own personal opinion, by the way, is that whether it is national security or private security, we are far behind. That's my personal opinion. We have not really taken up technology in our security processes, in our security solutions and things like that.
I know that you've spoken about the role of technology in security, and we are far behind. What are some of these technological aspects you find exciting, which can be adopted in security? Can you give some specifics where you think this specific area needs a technological aspect, in security?
You see, let me tell you, when you talk to anyone about, I'm in the field of security, but in the technological side. I'm not in manned guarding or anything. So when we go to clients or we meet with individuals and we discuss this, the mentality of technology and security, I can tell you right now, is just basic CCTV. That's it. There's a lot more to just putting up a camera and saying that yes, my place is secure, or I have adapted to security when it comes to my institution or whatever it is. That CCTV in itself needs to be secured. Right? There's something.
It's not just a matter of just putting the CCTV there and you say you are guarded and you are secure.
Because the camera itself is not a security. It's not a security item
by itself.
It's an electronic item.
An electronic item.
The camera, we are using a camera right now. It's an electronic item. It's not a security item. It becomes a security item when there are certain things that are kept into consideration.
Yeah.
So a lot of people, what happens is they tend to just come, install cameras, okay, that corner, put it to face that door, and find my door is secure.
Yes.
But before you put up the camera, a lot of people don't do security risk analysis.
Absolutely, there's none. You just call someone to install it.
And any Tom, Dick and Harry today
Can do that. Yeah.
as long as they know how to connect RJ45 cable or a coaxial cable, they're able to install a CCTV camera.
Exactly.
So a lot of institutions where we go to and we first do the security risk analysis for them.
Yes.
And we come to realize that they may have just put so many cameras in their institution which are not really serving any purpose.
Exactly.
There are still loopholes involved. The camera itself, the DVR itself,
Yes.
is a loophole on its own.
Yes.
It can easily be hacked.
Yes.
It can easily be erased. So it's not really serving its purpose. When you talk of involving technology,
Yeah.
you're looking at CCTV surveillance systems. Now, surveillance systems is not just CCTV cameras.
Yes.
Today, there are so many different types of surveillance systems. You're looking at access control systems. You're looking at cybersecurity solutions. When you come to cybersecurity solutions, it is a topic that you need maybe to do a bachelor's degree for you to understand cybersecurity.
Yes.
It's no longer just about putting a firewall and you say that my institution or my electronic items are secure, and your phone is at very big, huge risk right now.
Yes.
There is a video that was released by China some 2 or 3 years back where they showed how a hacker hacked into mobile phones at an airport facility.
Yeah.
Using the open Wi-Fi,
Yes.
and a switched off mobile phone, the camera was being accessed, the mic was being accessed, our
Yes.
conversation was being
Yes.
recorded, was being
Everything.
seen. Everything was being seen. This was something that was tested.
Yes.
It was not something that was, it was tested. So when we look at technology, there are so many things. Look at data, our servers,
Yeah.
losing your information. People no longer go and rob banks at gunpoint.
Not anymore.
You go to a bank, you hack into their facility, you take credit card, information, and you have robbed a lot of people. So when you look at technology, there's so many things that fall into place. And that is where I say that we have not yet evolved, we are still evolving,
Yes.
because we have not yet really adapted to so many of the technological
Advancement and everything.
that is available to us today.
Yes.
When we talk of technology, we're not only looking at now the gadgets involved. Technology has evolved in such a way that we are able to come up with security solutions which do not really involve gadgets, but they secure us. It involves our safety and security.
Yes.
Look at, for example, how bulletproofing and blast-proofing solutions
Yes.
today are available compared to 10 years back.
Exactly.
There are so many solutions that are available. It's just that we have not yet really adapted and understood that these are some of the solutions that we could use. So it's not just about a CCTV camera securing your entrance door. What about your window panels?
Yes, because now we have to look at the building codes. We are talking about the issue of fragmentation, bombs, the ballistic protection has to be there.
Yes.
And once you are building a big apartment like this or an institution, you have to look at the kind of glass you put in for your employees.
Yes.
In event of a blast, they will be affected.
If you recall the 98 bombing that happened in Kenya,
Yes.
okay,
Yeah.
there were more fatalities in the surrounding area
Yes.
of the blast than in the blast institution itself or the blast building itself.
Yes.
Reason being, when the blast happened, the neighboring buildings, especially Cooperative House,
Yes.
was a full glass facade,
Exactly.
which is what caused majority of the damage.
Yes. And we're talking about a normal glass here.
A normal glass.
We're not talking about tempered glasses or another category of glass which can withstand blast.
Yes.
So if it's a normal glass, it means now the effect.
Yes. So even tempered glass and things like that, there's a certain limit to which currently they can withstand force that is applied to it.
Yes.
So there are other solutions that have actually come up. Technology now
Yes.
has come up with certain solutions where you don't need to go for orthodox thick bulletproof glasses
Exactly.
or blast-proof glasses to secure yourself. There are newer solutions available.
Yeah.
And that is where we are lacking behind. And we are not only looking at situations, you see, we are talking about safety and security.
Yeah.
We are not looking at, okay, fine, the last bombing that happened in Kenya was the Dusit attack, right?
Yes.
It has not happened since 2019. Fine, so we are secure. No. Right now, the building that is opposite there has got gas that is running.
Yeah.
A fire could occur, a gas cylinder could explode, and if this glass is shattered right now, we are all at risk.
Yes. So where will you tell is the gap? Because when I look at the Kenyan universities right now, they teach more of the physical security. If there's a university which is teaching security management, you look at the whole syllabus, you look at the whole program. It's basically physical security, a little bit of cyber security. I think right now we have a few which are teaching cyber security and maybe a little bit of forensic. But again, they see that big gap. Let us talk about now what you're speaking right here, the security solutions. We have also very few companies offering this, technological security solution. So how do we bridge this gap in a way that all of us are able to use these solutions?
So, there are different ways to look at it.
Yeah.
Firstly, actually, I commend what PSRA is doing.
Yeah.
Not fully.
Yes.
I don't want to be misquoted here.
Yeah.
I commend what PSRA is doing in terms of educating the companies
And regulating them. Yeah, very important. Yes.
Any industry that has to succeed has to be regulated.
Yes.
An unregulated industry is bound to fail.
Exactly.
So I commend the fact that the government wants to regulate these industries. Yes. The manner in which it is done is debatable. Yes. It's something that I don't really want to discuss.
Exactly.
We have our differences.
Yes.
I have my opinions, you have your opinions.
Yes.
Everyone has different opinions. The government has their way of doing things.
Yes.
So this is something that is ongoing. Yes. And whatever we see happening is just a process of streamlining things. Yeah. So it's not really a quarrel, it's not really an issue that is happening. Yes. But I commend what the government is doing in educating and regulating the industry. Yes. What we are lacking actually is in educating the end users. Yes. I'll give you an example. In 2018, there was a conference, the East Africa Security Conference. Yes. Which was hosted by PROSAC. Yes, yes. And in that conference, the NCTC, National Counterterrorism Center, yes, did a presentation on counterterrorism measures. Yes. So they did a wonderful presentation in, explaining what terrorism is, how to profile, how to look at, what to look at, all that. Yes. I asked them a question, and that question led us to having discussions for over 1 year until this aspect was brought into one of the policies for NCTC, yes, right? Yes. And this was that I just asked them a simple question, that right now, if a blast happens right outside that window, yeah, all that profiling, all the other things that you have talked about, yes, is it going to really secure us? You know how to profile someone, you know what to look at, how to look at body language, how to look at so many things, all those things, you have really talked about everything. Yes. But someone has managed to get a loophole and stand outside that window right there and, yes, explode, or a vehicle has been parked and it has been blasted or something. Yes. Are we really secure?
Absolutely not.
Absolutely not. Because, yes, you have CCTV cameras. A camera is not going to stop a blast from happening. Yes. You have access control systems. That is not going to stop a car from parking right outside the window, and your access control is within the building. It's not on the road.
Yes.
So that's when we introduced this blast resistance and ballistic resistance solutions for the windows, because according to the UN, the glass is the most vulnerable aspect of a building during any form of an attack.
Exactly.
So if you have a guard and all the X-ray scanners and everything, but someone decides to stand there and shoot, it's pointless having all that.
It makes no sense at all. Yeah.
So we are really inclined towards one aspect of the technological solutions that are available.
Yes.
But that is 1%, and the rest of the 99% is being ignored.
Good stuff. Now, you are a chief executive officer of a company which is offering this security solution we are talking about. Now, I want us for you to tell us about Motomoto Africa. What does this company do? What are the services? Basically, like a profile of Motomoto Africa, kindly.
So we started Motomoto Africa in 2015.
It's around 9 years now.
9 years now.
Okay.
And prior to 2015, Motomoto was still our company, but it was a restaurant.
A restaurant.
A restaurant. So we.
That's good. The switch.
Yeah. So and that was my father's business.
Okay.
He decided to retire, leave us with the business, myself and my brother.
Yeah.
And we decided to move into the technological side.
Technology.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. We initially started off the company as an IT and ICT company.
Right.
So import supplies, distribution of IT and ICT solutions.
Yes.
In 2017.
Yes. That's after 2 years now.
After 2 years, is when we decided to step into the security solutions now.
Okay.
So we started off like any other electronics company, just bringing in CCTVs
startup and
towards the end of 2017 and beginning of 2018, when I started joining professional security associations, is when I came to realize and understand that there's a lot more to security than the simple installation of CCTVs and access control systems.
Okay.
And that's where now we actually evolved. Mm-hmm. We started studying, we started doing, the short courses and attending conferences and learning a lot, that there's a lot more to security than we actually thought we knew.
Time, yes.
Yeah.
So, as a company, and of course as the CEO, what is your take on corporate social responsibility, and how do you choose, such initiatives for CSR? Okay,
so I'll answer your question in two bits, yeah?
Yes.
One, you asked as a company, and I'll answer it as an individual as well.
Yes.
CSR, you have asked about CSR, that is corporate social responsibility.
Yes.
I personally believe that any company that is making money from the society is not a responsibility as such. A responsibility is a slightly weaker word.
Yes.
It is a compulsion, I would say,
for
you to give back to the society.
Yeah.
That's my personal opinion.
Yeah.
And the reason being is that you're making so much money, or you're making little money, or whatever you're making.
Yes.
It's every company has their own dynamics.
Yes.
But you have to give back to society in whatever means and ways that you're able to.
Yes.
That is as far as a company is concerned.
Yeah.
Let me talk as an individual. And let me be a little bit more philosophical and emotional and bring in aspects of religion.
Yeah.
Any religion or any ideology today, open any book that is available today. It talks about one basic principle or several basic principles like love for your brother, what you love for yourself, look out for your neighbor, look out for society, and things like that.
Yeah.
So I believe it is every individual's responsibility and every individual's compulsion that before you have your dinner, find out if your neighbor actually has something to eat. Even if you're living in a rich society, you don't know what the other guy is going through.
Yes.
if you're living in a poor society or in a low-end society, sorry for my choice of words, but you have to look at, I mean, these are just basic principles.
Yes.
These are just basic things that define you being a human.
Yes.
You cannot sit, eat, and fill your stomach when you very well know that your neighbor or someone within your society or someone, and you know very well that there is someone in Nairobi at least,
Yes.
or in Mombasa or wherever you're staying,
Yes.
who does not have food, who is sleeping hungry.
Mm-hmm.
That I feel that if every individual has that sort of a conscious, then let me now circulate this back to security.
Yes.
The issue of food security that we are facing
Right now.
in the country would not be there.
Exactly.
What is actually bringing out the food security or the insecurity that we are having, the lack of food and everything, it's just channeled by greed and corruption and things like that.
Yes.
Resources are available.
Yeah.
We just need to have that little bit. No one is telling you to give out your 100% of your wealth and things like that. Yes, there are philanthropists who are doing that.
Yes.
I personally don't have the heart of doing that. So
Yes.
whatever little you can do,
So what we give.
do it.
Yeah.
You feed one person. If you look at, for example, the population of the poor people against those who can afford at least something,
Yeah.
is very insignificant.
Exactly.
There are fewer poor people compared to those who can afford something. So if those people just give something small
Yeah.
to those who cannot afford,
Yes.
then you don't have any issues to deal with.
Brilliant. And we'll come back to that in subsequent questions. But now I want to ask, so how do you balance profitability, for example, for Motomoto, and the corporate social responsibility? This question is important because there are many companies, like you've alluded here, making a lot of profit, but they don't do the CSR. So where's the line? How do you balance maintaining this security business and the corporate social responsibility? Where's the balance?
There is a teacher and mentor of mine,
Yeah.
when I was still young and studying. He taught me that when you're starting a business, especially in a partnership, you would like to bring in partners who add value to your company, and who that value would actually bring the profitability aspect in your business and organization. Again, I will answer it more philosophical, but it has a logical sense to it.
Okay.
So today I start my business, or any business that I want to start, or you or anyone else starts a business, and you say that I'm going to make God a partner in my company.
Yes.
By making God a partner, meaning a certain percentage, you decide whatever percentage you want to put in the business, will go towards the corporate social responsibility, or to charity, or any activities like such.
Yes.
So just imagine you have a partner who is God himself in your business.
Yes.
And God is able to do anything and everything that is possible and impossible in this world.
Yes.
So if he is a partner, then 100% your business is not going to fail.
Yes.
Right or wrong? God is a partner.
Yes.
He's not going to make his own business fail.
Absolutely not.
So it's not about how much profit margins or anything. For me, it is very simple.
Yes.
At the end of the year, at the end of the month, at the end of the week, at the end of the day, however you're calculating your profits, how you're sharing out your profits, make sure there's a certain percentage that is going to charity, whether you have made your targets or you have not made your targets.
Okay.
A certain percentage has to go, by hook or by crook, whether it's daily, whether it's weekly, monthly, or yearly.
Whichever.
And I can guarantee you
Yes.
that business is never going to fail. Come what may, whatever the circumstances, whatever the issues.
Yes.
Because God is a partner, he's going to make sure that your business doesn't fail. So it's more philosophical, but it has a logical sense to it.
Good stuff. So now, at this point in time, we want us to talk about Motomoto and your collaboration with the government, NGOs, and the communities through this philanthropic work. And I want you to tell us about this program of yours called the
Feed a Family.
Feed a Family program.
Feed a Family
Feed a
program.
Family program.
Yes.
I want you to tell us why the choice of the word, why the choice of the initiative, and where are you? At which counties or which countries are you doing this? And it'd be very important to understand that.
So before I get into the details of that answer,
Yes.
I'll first give you an overview. And they say every big thing starts with a small step.
Yeah.
And sometimes those small steps are not necessarily planned, are not necessarily strategized. You don't do any analysis. It just happens.
Yeah.
You just start it off. You feel like doing it. You get a vibe of doing it. Do it and you will be surprised what it ends up being. So the Feed a Family program, I'll take some time to explain this, yeah?
Yeah, no problem.
Because it's something that is very personal to me. It's more touchy to me than my own company.
Yes.
It's something I really, it's of highest priority to me.
Okay.
When I was 7 years of age, my dad used to do this work.
The charity work now.
The charity work.
Okay.
He used to go to the areas that I'm going to right now, Wajir, Garissa, distribute food. If you remember, I think it was in 2007, 2008 when we had the Great Famine.
Yes.
And there's a lot of work that they did. The group of their friends and organizations, they got together and they started doing this work. So I used to bunk school and make sure I go with my dad to do this work.
Yeah.
So it's an experience that has built from then.
Mm-hmm.
I will jump from then to around 12, 13 years from now. We were sitting again with one of my teachers, my mentor, and a very close friend of mine. His father was also doing the same work.
Okay.
So the organization under which the Feed a Family runs is an organization called Motomoto,
Mm-hmm.
which was run by his father.
Okay.
Started in 1958. That's before the independence.
Yes, yes.
And we were just sitting in the month of Ramadan after prayers, chit-chatting, having some tea, and we just came up with that idea. We're like, you know what, okay, how much money do you have in your pocket? 2,000, 3,000, I have 5,000, I have 10,000. A lot of people don't have iftar in this month of Ramadan. Let's do something. So we had very little money, and our first package was a pint of milk, a loaf of bread, and 1 pack of 2 kg unga, kasima, maize flour. And that was the first package. We made around 30 packages, and we just roamed around the streets of Nairobi, and we handed out those people. Yeah. So when I told you that some things, they just start out of a vibe, out of, a joke, it just happened. We just sat and we said, people do not have something to eat.
Yes.
Let's do something
for them.
That's where now this Feed a Family started. The following year, same in Ramadan, we sat, but this time we started in the beginning of Ramadan. This was towards the end of Ramadan. So in the beginning of Ramadan, we said, last year we did this. This year, let's try and call some friends, call some families, ask them. So the involvement of other people came in, financially, and we ended up doing 300 packages, which now from that pint of milk, loaf of bread and unga was now 4 kg maize flour, 4 kg white flour, a small bottle of oil, some rice, some sugar, a nice healthy package that can last a family at least for a month.
Yeah.
And that is where it started. And so when we started now broadcasting it to the media, or social media rather, we decided, okay, fine, what name do we give it? Just, as I told you, there was nothing planned, no strategy behind it. You're asking what made you give the name Feed a Family. We don't know.
Yes.
What we just said, and said, okay, fine, let's do a post, and okay, fine, let's put a hashtag. Hashtag Feed a Family, and from there it built up.
It became Feed a Family.
It became Feed a Family, and it's now something that is known worldwide.
Yes, yes.
So Alhamdulillah, that is how That is how the feeder family started off.
Yes.
And that was 30 packages then. And Alhamdulillah, this year, we covered distribution of up to 12,000 families.
That's good.
This is spanned in, I think, 9 or 10 counties.
Counties in Kenya.
Yeah, in Kenya.
That's good. And the society appreciate what you do, because I think you've also been given awards, for this humanitarian work.
Yes, and well, it's good that the society is appreciating, although our intention of doing this has nothing to do with appreciation from society.
Yeah.
There's a verse in the Quran that I'm going to quote for you. It says, إنما نطعمكم لوجه الله لا نريد منكم جزاء ولا شكورا.
Translate that for me, please.
I'll translate that for you. The verse said that if you're feeding someone, if you're doing something good for society,
Yes.
for the sake of Allah, for the sake of your Creator, then expect no thanks, no appreciation, no shukura from anyone else except for your Creator, except for Allah. So we are doing it solely for that. This team of ours is the same team that we have been for the past 13 years.
Yes.
We were young at that time. All our volunteers, everyone, we were just in that small prayer room of ours. And we have been going on till now.
Yes.
We have never had a conflict of interest between ourselves. We have never had any issues. We have never had any politics between us. Because our sole intention is to serve humanity for the sake of seeking the pleasure of our Almighty. That's
Wonderful.
it.
Wonderful.
It has nothing to do with yes, society has appreciated the organization. It has appreciated our members personally for doing this work. And we have taken it, but we are not doing it for that. We are doing it for the sake of pleasing our Almighty. So the appreciation we receive from the society
Yes.
is just adds on, it gives a certain credibility and accountability that yes, this is a group of dedicated individuals who are doing this solely for the sake of serving humanity.
Very nice. Now, you are an award-winning CEO.
Yes.
And like you've alluded earlier, we have different types of businesses in the country. We have garden, which everyone has taken. A lot of garden companies right now. We have cyber security solutions. We have security consultancy. We have background checks and screening and all that. What does it take to run a successful business, a successful security business-oriented company in this country? Because there are potential entrepreneurs looking at us, watching us now, and they want to know what it takes to run a successful, not any business, but a security-oriented business in this country.
No,
and you can give that in
question.
reference now to Motomoto, which is providing security solutions. So what does it take, to run it to become successful?
Okay, so I will avoid the business 101 theory.
Yes.
That is always what we read and study in universities and things like that about, your ERP, systems, about your marketing systems, about all that. That is something that we learn in theory, and how to do accounting, how to manage your finances, and those are things that we read and we learn about it.
Yes.
Let me first not talk about running a specifically security-oriented business, because you have asked me to reference Motomoto.
Yes.
And Motomoto is not only a security providing business.
Yes.
Okay, so we have an IT and ICT sector, we have a security sector, we have a medical sector, we have import and export sector. So we have several things that we are doing.
Yes.
I will talk about running a successful business.
Yeah, sure, no problem.
Okay?
Yeah.
And then you can pick out, or the audience can pick out on
The
what
security bits, yes.
bits they find. Let me give you 3 things.
Okay.
Again, I will speak philosophically, but with a logical sense to it.
Okay.
This is something that any conference I go to, anyone that I talk to, anyone who asks me this question, I give them this thing. There are 3 things, not about running a successful business on its own, but anything that you want to succeed in. anything in life, whether you're studying, you're doing your job, it's your family, it is anything in life that you want to do. Just these three things. Number one is your connection with the Almighty, which I mentioned to you earlier briefly.
Yes.
That if God is a business partner, then there is no way your business is going to fail. If your connection with the Almighty is strong, then there is no force that is going to come your way and make your business fail or make anything that you want to do fail. Number two is your connection with your kin, your relations. Be it parents, spouse, children, siblings. There's a certain bond that you're supposed to create, and we often fail in these things, especially when we are starting a business or our businesses have become successful. We tend to distance our family members.
Make it all about ourselves.
Remember one thing: the more you give, the more you receive. And charity begins at home. So, as much as I'm talking to myself personally, as much as I'm doing so much charity outside, I may sometimes even fail in doing charity at home first. It is, you can say it is something that is, it just happens. You're not doing it knowingly. You tend to want to do so much outside, forgetting what's happening in your house. So it's something I've learned in this process, that try to keep your family close, try to involve them in the business, try to give that priority to your family members to get the jobs. Obviously, keeping certain criterias. Yeah, if you want a security manager, you cannot just pick up some random uncle who has no know-how about security or things like that. But try to get your family involved in the business as well. Keep your relationship strong. It's not about only keeping them involved in the business, but keep your relationships strong with your family.
Yes.
Remember one thing, when things go down, the people who will be standing with you is your family.
Family first.
I'm speaking out of experience.
Yeah.
Bro, when things go bad, the guys who used to be, my buddy, my whatever, those guys are going to ignore your calls. They will cross the road when they see you walking and things like that. They know, jamana kitu sasa.
Ameisha kabisa.
Ameisha. The people who are going to, and I'm telling you, out of my own personal experience, the people who really boosted me in my business, the people who really stood by me when when business was low, I couldn't employ people who are my own family members.
Yeah.
My parents, my brother, my wife. Yes. They are the ones who actually stood and, without any pay, they are the ones who actually helped me build back the business when things went low. Yeah. So keeping your relation. Finally, is something that, God has given us a lot of bounties. And we tend to look down upon them, we tend to ignore them, we tend not to understand some of these bounties that we have been blessed with. One of the biggest bounties that we've been blessed with is something known as belief. The belief system.
Okay.
The belief system in the human that God has blessed us with is such a powerful tool. Let me give you some examples. Muslims for 30 days, fast for 30 days, no food, no drink, abstinence from dawn to dusk for 30 days consecutively. They do it for those 30 days. If you ask me today, we are not in Ramadan, if you ask me to fast one day, I'll tell you, boss.
It's not that time.
Why do they do it for those 30 days? And you will see millions and billions of Muslims doing it. Yes. Because they believe by fasting those 30 days, they are being purified. God is being pleased with them, they are being purified. So that belief of being purified, or that belief system, makes you do that which normally will be termed impossible. For example, go to Ethiopia. There are certain tribes in Ethiopia, I think even in Kenya there are certain tribes, if I'm not wrong, in the Samburu, who pierce their ears, long piercings, and put some some, I don't know, ornaments on their lips. You know, it looks so painful. If you ask me today just to have a small needle being, I'll tell you, hey, boss, I cannot do that. But they are doing it because their belief system tells them that doing that, you know, God is being pleased, their God is being pleased with them, and they're being purified. So that belief system makes them do that which we, normal people, find it impossible to do.
Yep.
If you go to you know, Southeast Asia, India and all that, there are certain tribes that walk on fire, like red hot burning coal.
Yes.
Me and you would not stand even a meter close to that, but they are walking past through it,
yes.
not feeling the pinch of it.
Yes.
Why? Because their belief system is telling them. So we have such a powerful tool.
Yes.
And that same tool, if you put it in your day-to-day, I believe I can run a successful business.
Yeah.
Keeping into consideration certain variables that we learn in Business 101, or what we learn from our mentors and things like that. Believe in yourself, and you will be able to run that successful business. So now coming back to now security business. Yes, it's not, let me tell you something. There's a mentor of mine who told me that there are 3 businesses when you're in your struggling stages of life.
Yeah.
The most difficult businesses to run and the businesses that will make you successful in your struggling stages of life.
Yes.
3 businesses. One is a restaurant, a security business,
Yes.
and a transport or logistics business.
Yeah.
Start with those 3.
Yes.
When you reach a stage where you have
So you've
reached...
spoken about transport and logistics, to about security and restaurants.
And restaurant.
Okay, that's hotel and
Yeah.
everything. Yeah.
These are 3 difficult to run businesses. And out of experience,
Yes.
I can tell you I've run 2 businesses, a restaurant and security.
Security now, yeah.
And I can tell you I have actually tested and tried it. It is really difficult to run.
Yes.
It's not easy. It involves a lot. It is very involving.
Yes.
But these are 3 businesses that you can run in your struggling stages of life.
Yes.
And once you have surpassed the struggling stages of life, these are the same 3 businesses that can bring you back down.
Yeah.
Because of the involvement that
Yes.
it requires.
Yes.
Why did I leave the business, the restaurant business? It was a very successful business. It ran for 20 years.
Yes.
It had built a name. It was one of the first fast food restaurants in Kenya.
Yes.
It was because the involvement that it needed
Yes.
and the expertise that it needed of food was not, I didn't have it.
Yes.
And so I could run it from a managerial point of view, but there was no way it could move further. And so the same principle is involved in the security industry. Security industry is not about just pumping in some money, hiring a security officer, a CSO to run or an operational manager, and then hiring guards and putting up a training ground. It has a lot of involvement, and that involvement includes you personally.
Yes.
When you are personally involved in the business, you have to have the know-how of the business.
Yes.
When I started security, it was not really a security as such. We were just installing CCTV cameras. As I told you, CCTV camera is an electronic gadget.
Yeah.
When we started getting involved and into security conferences and learning more about security is when we came to realize that there's a lot more involved. And before we started advancing, we had to equip ourselves with the knowledge that has to be involved in a security company.
Yeah.
So before you start selling technology, or cybersecurity is a vast industry. I have less than 1% know-how of cybersecurity. And that is why it is very difficult for me to get into that industry right now.
It's a difficult one, and even right now there's a requirement, quote unquote, where for you to be a security manager or head of security in an organization, you have to learn the cyber bit, because there's a convergence between the
Correct.
physical security
Correct.
and the cyber security. But what people need to learn, rather understand, is that this cybersecurity is very wide.
It's very vast.
It's not a
very
subsection within security management.
It's not.
It's actually
It's no longer a subsection.
It's no longer a subsection.
It used to be, say, 15, 20 years ago.
Yes.
But not anymore.
Yes.
That is one. And since you have mentioned that, I would like to point something out, which I should have pointed out in the first question, the state of security, in the state of the security industry today. It's very unfortunate that 90% of the institutions and 90% of the organizations and companies take security managers very lightly. You will see a finance manager and a procurement manager and an operational manager having more say than a security manager.
Yes.
When a security manager wants to bring in a certain solution that is going to, help improve the organization,
Yes.
There are 3 other managers who have more say than what the security manager has to say.
Yes.
So this is something that needs to change, because a lot of these security solutions, when I told you the masses need to be educated about it,
Yes.
this is one of the things that what I meant, is that a lot of organizations don't know what is the actual value of a security manager. According to them, we have 30 guards in our warehouse and in our factories. His work is to manage those 30. No, that is not a security manager's work.
Yes.
That is the work of the head of the guards, to manage those guards.
Yes.
The work of the security manager is to constantly do security risk analysis, give those
and
reports,
yes.
tell them that there are certain loopholes. And that security risk analysis is not about physical security only.
Yes.
It's about cyber security. It's about theft that goes on within the organization.
Yes.
You have factories where guys are stealing something small nails.
Yes.
If 1,000 people are stealing 1,000 nails in a day, that's 30,000 nails that are being stolen in a month. It's a huge loss.
Yes.
So the work of the security manager is actually to look at all those loopholes, how to fix it. If he gives a certain directive or a certain solution that, yes, according to me, doing this analysis, we need to do A, B, C, D, we need to bring in this equipments, we need to add 1 or 2 managers here and there and things like that. These are things that organizations need to take seriously. If you look at a hotel like this, if the security manager is saying that, you know what, we need to do A, B, C, D, then it needs to be taken seriously, because that person has undergone training in security management. There's hospitality security.
Yes.
So he has undergone training to understand what are some of the things that are involved in hospitality security.
Yes.
But unfortunately, in 90% or more even, organizations in our country, they take the finance manager because budgets are involved, the operations manager because people are involved, or the HR manager because of whatever reason. These are things that are not taken seriously.
They need to take the issue of ESRM, where we say the security consultant is a trusted advisor, and
Yes.
his opinions and,
Yes.
and advices need to be listened to. Now, as we wind up, I want us to talk very briefly about the Sub-Saharan Africa Security Conference coming in Nairobi, Kenya, from 24th to 26th of July. What is the importance of security conferences? How have they shaped you to be, the security expert and to be the CEO you are today?
Well, as I mentioned to you, that when I got into the security industry, I got in not knowing about security. When I started attending the conferences and being part of the associations or organizations, professional organizations in security that are there in Kenya and worldwide, is when I came to understand that there are so many things that I don't know. Honestly speaking, and I'll be very honest about it, that my involvement in these organizations and in these conferences is what actually shaped me to understand the industry, to get deep into the industry, and as a businessman, I'll speak as a businessman, we hear this term or this quote or this saying that goes, your net worth is your network.
Yeah.
You can only network with people when you attend such conferences and such
Exactly.
sittings and gatherings. And that is what actually shaped me. We have, alhamdulillah, by the grace of Allah, we have been awarded as a company, as an individual, not only locally but internationally.
Yeah.
Be it the OSPAS award, be it the ACFE award, be it award from India, FOIA and all that. All these have happened because these conferences and these associations, you're able to network with people, you're able to learn from other people. When I got into the organizations and associations, I was zero. I had no knowledge. I thought I knew what CCTV securities are or CCTV systems are. I had no idea that what I was actually looking at was just electronic gadgets. When I got involved is when I actually came to learn that there's so much involved to just a basic CCTV or access control system or a firewall or an antivirus than what we were just selling. So I personally feel, and I strongly request, I cannot force, okay, I can maybe, is that try to attend these events. Try to be part of these associations. And you will come to realize, you will come to learn a lot, and there's still a lot more to learn. And because things are evolving at such a, fast, things are really moving fast, technology is really moving fast. Being part of these associations and being part of these organizations, I recently attended the Intersec conference in Expo in Dubai.
Yes, the one happening this month. It was last month.
No, it was in January. There's one that is happening, I think, towards the end of this year.
Yes.
There's the Intersec, there's JISEC, there's JITEC, the ones that happening. Then there's GSX in September that's happening in US. There's so many of these conferences. When I attended Intersec and the solutions that I saw that are being innovated and being brought in the market, I realized I was far behind. I thought that our company has got a lot of solutions, but no. When you attend such conferences and such exhibitions, and you come to realize that there's a lot more to the world that you actually know.
The exposure in terms of technological.
The exposure is just amazing. You get to meet people. You get to look. Let me tell you one thing. Many years back, and a lot of people ask me this question. Many years back, someone would start a business, concentrate on one particular item, and that would be their business for 30, 40, 50 years, generations to come. Because at that time, the norm was that you can't be a jack of all trades. You can only be a master of one trade.
Yes.
I personally believe that in today's time, you will only be a jack of one trade and you can be a master of so many trades.
Yes.
We are doing IT, we are doing security, we are doing medical, we are doing exports, we are doing food processing and export and things like that. It's not because I personally am an expert in all that. Yeah. Yes, I did my research and basic studies before starting the business. Yes. But you become a master of all these trades by virtue of partnerships. And you can only get these partnerships when you meet people, when you interact with people, and that's how you sign partnerships.
Exactly.
We are doing a lot in the green energy segment, and I recently attended COP28 in Dubai. This was in December last year.
Yes.
Attending such conferences is what actually builds your company, honestly speaking. And the saying that says your net worth is your network is actually true, having tried and tested it.
Good stuff. So you've added yourself from the Chief Executive Officer of Motomoto Africa, and what a conversation, what a show. So we are urging all the security professionals to attend the Sub-Saharan Africa SASCON 2024. It will be taking place at the Edge Convention from 24th of July to 26th of July. The theme is actually building a smarter and safer Africa. So we welcome you all to attend this conference.
There's something I want to add.
Yes.
Especially to the young and aspiring entrepreneurs or those who want to get into the security industry or whichever industry for that matter.
Yeah. The next generation.
Next generation.
Yes.
And the reason why I'm really enthusiastic about it is that we have a very huge gap or a very huge loophole
Yes.
in the youth today.
Yes.
There are so many reasons about it. There's a topic of discussion for another day.
Yeah.
There is what is the name of a baby camel?
Baby camel.
No idea. Okay,
No idea.
we'll call it baby camel.
Yes.
So I'll give you a story.
Yes.
A baby camel asked in a zoo, asked the mother that why do we have such big eyelashes?
Big eyelashes.
You know,
Okay.
the eyes, the iris or the optical system that God has put in a camel is so unique that they have got several layers
Yes.
and very unique eyelashes. So the mother said, because we live in a desert mostly, it is for us that when a sandstorm happens or because it's very dusty in a desert,
Yes.
we're able to still move on and continue
Yeah,
with
like
whatever we
never
have to do.
been seen.
That's why we have such unique eyelashes
Eyelashes.
and optical system.
Yeah. Yes.
Okay, so the baby camel said, good. What about our feet? The feet of a camel is very unique. It's a wide base.
Yes.
Yeah. So
Elongated as well.
yes. So the mother said it's because the sand in a desert is very soft. So for us to commute easily, for a goat, being the feet are very pointy.
Yes.
As soon as they get onto the soft sand, they're stuck.
Yes.
It's not easy for a camel to get stuck in a desert.
Yes.
So the mother said, yes, it's because of that reason we are able to commute very easily. Said, okay, what about the hump? Said, okay, yeah, because we stay in the desert, there is no food and water available. We have big stomachs, we have, these things available because we live in a desert. And so we are able to live very easily. So the very important question that the baby asked is then what are we doing in a zoo? If we have been created and meant to be in a desert, we have all the skills and abilities to be in a desert, to face the harshness of the desert, what are we doing in a zoo? And so this question you ask yourself, if you have been built, if you have been created with a certain set of skills, with a certain set of abilities, you may be unique, you may be having unique skills to yourself or to a group of individuals.
Yes.
If you're meant for the desert, what are you doing in the zoo?
Exactly. It makes no sense.
So
because
these are some of the analyses that you young entrepreneurs and professionals and business people need to do before you get into any industry, whether it's the security industry, any industry you want to do. Understand what your set of unique, abilities are. You cannot say that, okay, Major is been in security consultancy and is doing well for himself.
Yeah.
So even me, Shahid Yakub, has to get into. I cannot do consultancy. It's very difficult for me. Maybe I do, maybe I don't do. It may not be my unique set of abilities.
Yes.
Or Yakub has gotten into, or Motomoto has gotten into CCTVs and they're doing well, or blast proofing or bulletproofing and ballistics and things like that. And they're doing very well for themselves.
Yes.
Let me also get into that.
And do the same.
And do the same.
Yeah.
This is something in strategy or strategic management which is called Me Too strategy.
Yes.
If he is doing Me Too, I can do it. No, you don't know what unique abilities he has or unique strategy he or she has formed.
Yes.
And things like that. So this is my parting short advice
Yeah.
to the young
The next
entrepreneurs,
gen.
the next gen.
Yes.
Yeah.
Very important, because I see one problem we have in the country is once I start a business, you want to start. The other person wants to start.
Yes.
It's like a copy-paste kind of a thing.
Yeah.
You don't
And one
understand.
thing we have to understand, yeah,
Yes.
again, philosophical with a logical sense.
Yeah.
If 10 friends get together and start 10 different businesses
Yes.
in the same industry,
Yes.
it's fine.
Okay.
Because we have to understand one thing, is that we cannot run a monopoly, number one.
Yes.
Number two, the market is too huge.
Yes.
And number three, most important thing, is that sustenance comes from God. None of us can actually decide that I can start and pump in millions of dollars into a business and it can be successful. Someone can start with very small and become successful. What has been written for you is what is going to come to you. You only have to make the effort.
Yes.
You tie your camel, then you keep your trust in God. So tying your camel means you do all that you have to do, your background checks, your this, your financial system, your accounting system, your HR system, your operational system,
Yes.
what products you're going to buy, how you're going to buy, how you're going to sell, the profit margins, blah, 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 all that.
Yes.
That is you tying your camel. Then you keep your trust in God. Yeah. Then what God has written for you will come to you.
It will happen.
So a Me Too strategy is the wrong strategy.
Yes.
And a monopolizing mindset is also the wrong strategy.
Yes.
Remember one thing. If you go to town right now, for example, let's go to Jamia.
Yes.
Yeah?
The area here.
There are more than 1,000 shops selling IT, laptops, and blah blah blah. More than 1,000.
Yes, all of them all. Actually.
Yeah, but they're all surviving.
Yes.
Because you're in the market.
Yes.
This is one thing that a lot of people don't understand. If you're not in the market, you will not be able to get your market.
Yes.
So you cannot decide that, fine, if you cannot go and open an IT shop in City Market, the meat shop, the meat market.
Yes.
Because everyone who is coming there is coming to buy meat,
Yes.
not any electronic items.
In the first place.
Yeah. So competition is not bad for business. It is the best thing for business.
Yes.
So, Me Too strategy, wrong. Come up with your own unique strategy. And if you are going to be in that industry, if you see your strategy is best for that industry, get into it with an open mind of not competing, but complementing. I got into the security industry, realizing that everyone is in the manned guarding industry. Yes. No one is in, or very few are in the technological. Yes. So I came in complementing those businesses. Yes. You do your manned businessing, your guarding or whatever it is. Yes. And there is technology where I can support you in the background.
Supplement becomes a whole integrated system.
Exactly.
Yeah. So, ladies and gentlemen, we edit at this point. Thank you for keeping it Crimeshield. Keep subscribing, and God bless you. Thank you.